Hey everybody, this is Matthew with Watty's channel. This is the second round, fifth drawing of the My Favorite Hasbro tournament. So, as per usual with the second round, we are selecting 5 matchups, 10 competitors, drawing them at random. And once those 10 matchups or 10 choices have been selected, I pause the video, pull the figures off the shelves, and then we dive right in and do our selections. So let's dive into the first matchup. Alright, so first deal is going to be a Series 7 Crush is going to square off against the Custom Doink. The next battle is going to feature Undertaker from Series 4 squaring off against the Custom Brett. That is a tough one. Let's see. Now we've got $1 Million Man Series 2 squaring off against the Giant Gonzalez. This one's going to feature Tatanka squaring off against the Pink and Green Ultimate Warrior Custom from Robert Jackson. And the last matchup is going to be the Series 10 Shawn Michaels squaring off against the the Pink Rick Rude, and that's the custom again from Robert Jackson. Alright, so those are our 5 matchups. I will pause, pull the figures, and we will begin shortly. Alright, everybody. We do have the figures pulled, and I gotta be honest, I kind of feel like this is going to be a 40-minute video, maybe longer. And only because, kind of looking at the matchups today, I might have to spend 15-20 minutes per matchup to kind of make a decision, because some of these are really impossible choices. I'm not looking forward to a couple of these matchups. But the first matchup we did talk about was going to feature the Kona Crush going against the custom Doink the Clown. This one, I believe, was another Derek figure custom. Pretty much identical to the original. The only thing that they did was change out the hand so that it's an enclosed hand, and that way he's able to kind of hold his accessory. And it's an awesome piece. It was just enough of a difference to beat the original, and actually just enough an accessory or just enough of a change to actually make it one of the better ones, because with the enclosed fist, now it's better for punching, and you can do more with this figure now. Now it really turns it into more of an elite figure. I recently did a video talking about the Wave 3 Mattel Retro line, but come on, I do believe that this one is still far superior than what they came out in that line anyways. Absolutely amazing piece. The Demolition Series 2 Crush was removed from competition in this round. So we still have Series 7 Kona Crush, and we do have, well, not the Series 11 Crush. We actually have the Series 11 Custom Crush, but I mean, it's still Series 11-ish. So we still have 2 crushes in competition. The one downside of the Kona Crush is it's because it's just like the Atom Bomb from the last video, with the right arm being a little bit more in, with the left arm being a lot further out, which not a huge deal to me, not really, but it's enough of a eyesore that it kind of distracts me a little bit. The Kona Crush is actually one of the better looking figures. I really enjoy how this figure displays. As a playable, fightable figure, absolutely one of the elite. I really love the look of Doink. I mean, there's just so much color, so much detail that has gone into this figure. The only figure that has built-in hair like that, nowadays you're gonna find all this like plastic or whatever. Not like actual fur or anything like that, and it's awesome that they created this type of fur hair. It would have been nice, I think, if like the vest and shirt and everything wasn't just painted on, like all of the stuff is painted on, and if they actually had built that stuff in there, like if you could actually feel the feel the creases and stuff, that would have been so spectacular. As much as I love Kona Crush, I gotta admit I'm really leaning towards the Doink figure right now. I really think that it's something special, and I don't know. Um, do I think enough of it to remove possibly one of the best 15 figures of all Hasbro in just the second round? It's a tough one. I was close, but no. I'm gonna go with Kona Crush to move on to round three. But yeah, I was literally that close to choosing Doink. It's a really good piece, and I don't really think I really ever give it a true great appreciation. I knew I've always enjoyed the figure, but until you really pay attention to the figure, like really hold them in your hand, really talk about them, and really focus on the details, you really gather that true appreciation for the skill and technique that really goes into these figures. They're really awesome pieces. And like I said, to me as an adult, they're not just toys, man. They're literal works of art. So I don't look at them as action figures. I look at them as pieces of art. So it's a great piece, but Doink is out after 2 rounds. So Series 7 Kona Crush defeats Custom Doink. Alright, I'm going to put this one actually back in its case since I grabbed it as a duplicate. Next matchup is going to feature 2 absolutely elite figures. And it's going to pit Bret Hart up against The Undertaker. So, we will start with The Undertaker. This is Series 4 Undertaker. Red hair. And a little purple eyeshadow, what have you, underneath the eyes. I've said it before. The Undertaker Series 4 is, Series 4, the last set of figures that we had as kids. Him and Bret Hart, the most commonly used action figures. Most used. I'm pretty sure at some point, maybe his arm popped off, like right here. And, all we had was like this part of it. Maybe, if I'm recalling correctly. But even with his missing extended arm, I'm thinking we still used the heck out of him. And that's what happens with a lot of the action figures. I'm sure there were a few that had broken arms and stuff, and we still used them more than you would find most figures. And that's another reason why, like I talk about, like why I really not a huge fan of the extended arm. Sometimes the extended arm becomes very loose. Sometimes you go like this and the arm just flops in the wind. Other times the joints are nice and tight and it's awesome. So I think most of these figures that I grabbed are just duplicates. Minus the customs, the original figures that I've grabbed are all duplicates, so they're not coming off my primary shelf. So when I started this tournament, I've said it before, it only made sense that a figure like Series 4 Undertaker or Series 4 Bret Hart would probably most likely be my answer. They're the most commonly used figures. They're the ones I remember the most, the ones I enjoyed the most. You would think that they would be my selection. It makes the most sense. But it's not just about nostalgic. It's nostalgia reasons. It's also, you also take into consideration the actual look of the figure, the history that you have, the display of the figure, the color scheme, the playability of the figure. So many things have to go into, choosing what you love about the figure that makes it your favorite. There's so many movies that I say, well, this is my favorite movie, and to this day I say, well, that's my favorite movie because it's always been my favorite movie, and I just don't want to go back and change it. Um, Same thing with music. I don't know what song I would choose today, but anyways, that's a different story. In the last custom video from Series 1, or Round 1, Denver Moore, he produced one of the most unique action figures I've seen. And, Bret Hart, he'd come out into the ring, he'd stroll around, doing this pose. With the jacket, the color scheme, the little chains that he's got coming off the jacket, I said that this figure had the potential to be even greater than the Series 8 Bret Hart as far as design. Now this falls into the same boat as his Sting figure. The joints aren't really movable. Now you did see right here with this arm, it's a little bit movable, but that could just be the joints are loose, not necessarily that the arm is movable. It's simply a display piece. You're not supposed to be wrestling with either this or the Sting figure. So that's not its intended purpose. This is supposed to be for adults or for, simply for display. It's a fantastic looking piece. If you really wanted to sit there and try to wrestle, it's not the best wrestling. I mean, you can throw some punches, that's about it. You still do your kicks and everything, drop kick. Just looking at it, I mean, you can't do a legitimate body slam or nothing. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to look at different fighting attributes of the figure, and it's not really much you can do with it. Undertaker has everything that's synonymous with the Undertaker. Choke slam. You want to do that tombstone and everything. Everything situates beautifully with the figure. This is, in the grand scheme of things, an absolute perfect figure. Absolutely love it. Is he going to defeat the Denver Moore custom? Once again, I'm going to shock the world because I'm going to say no. What the heck is wrong with me? I don't know. I am going to go with Bret Hart once again. Why am I selecting a custom figure over an original figure I grew up with that I'm absolutely obsessed with, that is, in my own words, perfect in every way? Here's the thing. I used this figure to defeat Yokozuna. I think it was a Yokozuna defeat. Yeah, he had to defeat Yokozuna, right? Let me go back real quick. So, I just want to verify. Okay. So, he defeated the custom Yokozuna at the end of round 1. Yokozuna, we all know, is already about as perfect as the figures you're going to find. And now, squaring off against Undertaker, you still have Series 8 Undertaker in competition. Even though I absolutely love this figure, this is the one I had as a kid I grew up with, I think I still like the dark hair version a little bit better. So, I think if it came down to it, where a Series 4 and Series 8 squared off, I would probably choose the Series 8 anyways. So, I don't think it's much of a loss right now to lose, per se, the Series 4. Perfect figure, love it. There's no doubt. But just look at that. I mean, how many Hasbro figures are you going to find, custom or original, that have that kind of design to it, that give you that type of look, that give you that kind of credibility and pose, that's what he actually did when he came into the ring. That is such a fantastic look. I mean, the jacket design alone puts this figure over the top. Something else I find really special about this figure, the fact that he knocked off two perennial top 2 elite choices to win this tournament in Yokozuna and Undertaker in back-to-back matches. Bruiser Brody, a custom figure, won my LJN tournament both times. Just saying. Read into that what you will. But especially that second LJN tournament where literally every single match Bruiser Brody went up against, he went up against the most absolute elite figure you'll ever find, and won and ended up winning the whole tournament. And now this Bret Hart custom is scoring off against absolutely elite figures, the greatest elite figures you can find, and winning. So right now, in my opinion, that custom Bret Hart is my personal, I don't want to say my personal favorite, but if I was a betting man, I would put my money on that guy to win the tournament. I mean, is he going to win the tournament? I don't know, man. It's hard to say. You never know how these type of tournaments are going to play out. I mean, I never know who I'm going to choose until I'm actually sitting in front of the camera and talking about the figures. Many a time I've talked about figures, I thought when I held them up, I'm going to choose this guy. And 99.9% of the time, I was going to go there, and then the split second beforehand, I ended up going with this guy. So, you never know. There's always something there that's possibly could sway your decision, so. Oh, yeah. Gotta take down my notes here. Alright. My nose is always stuffy. It drives me nuts. I swear to God, my nose stays stuffy. Doesn't matter if it's wintertime, summertime. It's crazy. That little fluticasone or whatever it's called doesn't do anything. Doesn't make no difference. So, that was custom Bret Hart defeats Series 4 Undertaker. Alright, so the next battle, and this one is another difficult decision. So, $1 Million Man Series 2. A figure, again, that I had as a kid. I never had Series 1. I had the Series 2 $1 Million Man. I'm trying to think. I'm thinking like the leg of this character like fell off and we had to use him with like one leg or something. It's hard to remember exactly, but I'm thinking that's how we had this guy. A very commonly used character, and again, $1 Million Man with green suit. Among the $3 Million Man, this is maybe it's because it's nostalgia for me. It's the one I had as a kid, but this is my favorite among the $3 Million Man figures from Hasbro. And Giant Gonzalez, an absolute perfect figure in every way, shape, and form. He's perfect in body pose. It's perfect in look. No matter who you buy this from, it seems like this figure has never been played with, because every single time, and I buy this figure all the time, maybe not recently, but I bought this figure from so many people, so many times, and every time I buy it, it always looks like it's in mint condition. There's never paint loss on it. There's never any broken fingers. No paint bleed. It always looks perfect. The actions are nice and tight. They work beautifully. So either nobody ever played with the figure or nobody ever had the figure. I don't know. But before I started getting all of my Hasbros, before I completed the collection, at some point I probably had him at like number 4 or 5 as my all-time favorite Hasbro figure. And when I finally completed the collection and I got all the figures in, I was able to look at it, everything. He fell down the list. I think he eventually went down to like, and he may have been like number 3 or something, and he may have been much higher than that, but I think he fell down to like 6, 7, 8. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. It was important to me to keep him on the top 10 list. I'm thinking number 7. Maybe number 6. Again, I don't remember. But he was very high. He could have been like number 3, fallen like number 6 or 7. I don't remember. Again, I think I said in my last video, if you're ever interested in seeing my top 10 list of least favorite or most favorite figures, I think I made those videos back in like episode 29 and 30 or something like that. So if you just type in Watty's channel, episode 29, episode 30, whatever, you can probably look up those videos and, you know, see an old video of my review, what I like about them. But this, again, is a very tough decision because nostalgia against what I absolutely think it to be perfection. This is a perfect figure too. I mean, aesthetically, it's a great looking figure. He's got an awesome, well, for whatever reason, this duplicate doesn't have a working action, but this should be working here as well. Whatever. But he comes with an original accessory. The $1 Million Man belt is one of the top elite accessories that you're going to find, not just for Hasbro, but for any of the manufacturers out there that, you know, make these action figures. But he's got a awesome action. He's got a great look. Very playable figure. Very fightable. Playable. This is tough. I really love the size of the Giant Gonzalez. Now, I think Giant Gonzalez, if you were to compare him to $1 Million Man, had to be probably a little bit taller than this, but the fact that he was a giant and, you know, they made him super, I mean, obviously in comparison to some of the other figures, super tall, I have to choose Giant Gonzalez. It's tough because, again, I love the figure. It means the world to me. This figure right here rates so high for nostalgia for me. He's literally right up there with like Undertaker, Bret Hart, you know, Honky Tonk Man, figures I actually remember playing with as a kid. But this figure has everything. Same pose or same action as the $1 Million Man. It has a fantastic look. Much like the Series 3 Ultimate Warrior, where the pose-wise, either the Warrior or Giant Gonzalez, either one of the two, to me, have possibly the best pose. Best stance, boys, best pose. It's just a beautiful figure. Is he in the top 10 of most likely to win the tournament? If not top 10, I might give him a top 12 slot potentially, because I think there's just some other figures based on, you know, design that I think might push him out of the top 10. But yes, this is a legitimate contender. I do think that this one was a fantastic piece that could go very deep, but I just don't think he had the capabilities of pushing very far in the competition. So Giant Gonzalez is going to move forward into round 3. So, Giant Gonzalez defeats Series 2 $1 Million Man. Alright, next battle is going to feature the custom pink and green Series 1 Ultimate Warrior custom from Robert Jackson, going against the Series 6 Tatanka. When I do the review of the Hasbro, you know, series by series, I actually have both blue card Series 6 and purple card Series 9 of Tatanka, so you'll actually see him both times, because he was re-released in Series 9. But I'll call him Series 6 because that was his first release. Tatanka is the only figure alongside Texas Tornado to have dual arm extensions. A beautiful looking figure. By today's standards, this would be considered a racist figure. But, you know, in the heyday of the WWF, it wasn't uncommon to find a Native American, wrestling in, having a Native American wrestler. And to be honest, I think it would actually be more disrespectful not to have that inclusion of a Native American, but I don't know. Maybe the whole yeah that he used to do when he comes into the ring. But whatever. I always enjoyed it. I always enjoyed Tatanka. He was always an amazing wrestler. And then he joined Ted DiBiase's corporation, and it became a bad guy, and it sucked. But Tatanka, he was an amazing talent. I always enjoyed his matches. Did he ever become Intercontinental Champion? I kind of remember him being champion, but I don't know if I'm remembering correctly or not. This version of Series 1 Ultimate Warrior, and I said before, a lot of Series 1 figures get customized because, they're very common and they're much more affordable than later figures. I mean, are you going to take a Series 1 Ultimate Warrior to customize? That normally costs, probably get it for about $5 or $10, or are you going to try and get a Series 3 Ultimate Warrior to customize, which I hate because Series 3 is already perfect. You don't need to customize it. And 2, it's like a $75 figure. So you customize a $75 figure, maybe you get $100 for it. And with shipping and seller's fees and whatnot, shoot, you're lucky if you walk away with $80 on that. So you basically did all that work for about a $5 profit. So, but this is a fantastic piece. This was actually quite expensive. I think I talked about it in the past where I got this guy for about $50 on auction. And there's not many people that I would have gone that high for. It was a fantastic piece, but, when it comes to Robert Jackson pieces, I'm obviously willing to pay up a little bit more. The right seller, the right customizer, this is, again, to me, it's an elite piece for what it is. Is Series 1 the most valuable Hasbro? Of course not. But this right here, this is going to be an amazing display for my collection for years to come. So I'm super thrilled to own it. And as much as I love Tatanka, I think it's a great figure. I love the fact that he's got that dual arms pose. It basically gives you so many additional options that you only get with the one arm pose for other figures. But come on, the custom on this figure, it's above and beyond. Is he going to win the tournament? No. I already know he won't. At the end of the day, he's still a Series 1 Ultimate Warrior. It's a good figure. I had Series 1 Ultimate Warrior as a kid. When Series 2 came in, we basically took over with the Series 2. Series 2 Ultimate Warrior was my favorite Warrior for the longest time until I started collecting these as an adult and became aware of the Series 3 Warrior. But Series 1 is still a good figure. It's still a good-looking figure. The only bad thing that keeps Series 1 from being an elite figure or a great figure is the fact that he's got fused legs. But it's still a very playable figure and, still enjoyable if you want to wrestle this guy. No biggie. Series 1, Custom, Ultimate Warrior from Robert Jackson. It's going to defeat Tatanka. Alright, so let's put that on here. Series 1 Warrior. Custom. Defeats Tatanka. And then the last matchup, I mean, this is like one of those hold up, put down type of scenarios. That's it. Okay. So, this is another Robert Jackson custom figure. Let's be honest, Robert, he did a fantastic job. I absolutely love this version. I actually got a couple Ravishing Rick Rude customs from him. I decided to go with the pink version with the warrior face and with the championship belt on the front of his pants. So I call this the pink version of Rick Rude. But, so, including the awesome display of the figure, it also comes with this amazing World Heavyweight Championship belt. But at the end of the day, I don't care how amazing a custom job is. Which figure was I talking about in the past? I'm trying to think. Was it Brutus Beefcake? No, it was Robert's Shawn Michaels Series 2 figure. And I think it was in the last video. And I said something like, it doesn't matter how well you customize that figure, you're never going to have a Series 2 Shawn Michaels defeat a Series 7 original Shawn Michaels. And, you know, same thing in this case. The custom Rick Rude is absolutely fantastic. He did an amazing job. But you can't customize this figure enough to ever be good enough to defeat a Series 10 Shawn Michaels Black Pants variant. This literally is, if not a number 1 selection, number 2, maybe number 3 at worst among the Hasbro. So literally a top 3 choice of the greatest Hasbro figures of all time. Regardless of where you put it, 1, 2, or 3, maybe number 4, because there are about 4 different figures I really enjoy. So, a top 5 figure, top 4, top 5, wherever you want to put it, top 10. He's definitely a top 10 figure, no doubt. Play pose is perfect. The color scheme is perfect. It's one of the most beloved characters in WWF history. And I've already said it before, Rick Rude from Hasbro, Series 1 Rick Rude is my least favorite Hasbro of all time. An amazing job. I was super grateful to get this from Rob, but I think he would agree. I think anybody would agree. You can't choose Rick Rude over Shawn Michaels. It just can't happen. Even as a custom job, you're looking at about a $30 to $40 figure, where Shawn Michaels with black pants, even this duplicate right here with paint loss, you're still looking at a $125 to $200 figure right here. So, you know, that value obviously, as I said before, means a lot. So that always, you know, plays a role in my decisions as well. So the black pants variant is going to go very far. You can't not see the black pants variant in the Final Four. If he doesn't make it to the Final Four, I'm going to be deeply surprised. So, Series 10, Shawn Michaels defeats Pink Custom Rick Rude. Alright, and this was, I said, random selection number 5. Alright, so just kind of looking on the floor right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got 8 names remaining. That means I will actually stay down here and make one more video where we'll have just 4 matchups, and that'll close out round 2. Wow, that's quick. Already done with round 2 almost. Obviously, by the time I post all these videos, you know, it'll probably be like 2 weeks later. So just to recap, today's date that I'm filming this is Sunday, March the 12th. So who knows when these videos actually get posted, but we're at 35 minutes, guys. I'm going to close here. Again, thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you in the comments and in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.